Hello, mates.
What's happening, my inmates?
You're such a dad.
Shut up. It's fine.
We're back.
Hi.
We are now married. Woo! Yeah. So that happened.
Yep, that's the thing that happened.
And we went on our honeymoon, so we'll give a bit of an update about that, because loads of people have been asking, so...
She liked it, so she put a ring on it.
Stop it, Dad.
That's weird. That's
Just
weird.
Stop it.
Stop.
You're such a dad. So yeah, we got married on the 2nd.
We did.
It was so much fun.
It was very fun and very tiring.
Yeah, we decided to have a Halloween party where, like, do you know, people who were in the wedding just kind of came over if they were in the country or around, and we just started drinking and
Didn't stop.
that got very messy.
It got very out of hand.
And then we had to go to the hotel the next day, and it was all just fucking madness. Like, we didn't stop.
No.
We didn't stop for pretty much 3 weeks.
Nope.
Like, it was just non-stop.
We don't know how to leisure.
With the honeymoon
Yeah.
and the wedding, we just didn't stop.
No, we don't know how to leisure.
The wedding was great. We had a pagan ceremony.
Yeah.
We had a really lovely druid lady perform the hand fasting ceremony. Then we all got fucked. We all got shit-faced.
Yeah.
There was everything playing from, like, Metallica, Slipknot to ABBA and RuPaul.
Oh, God. When the RuPaul came on, I heard the first opening couple of lines of that song, and I just said, I am not here for any of this, and just walked out.
Oh, I was on that dance floor with all the girls, and it was amazing. You missed some bangers.
I'm okay with that.
And then our friends started getting naked, so...
Not to RuPaul, though.
No, that was to Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that happened. We had pretty much a couple of hours on Sunday to pack, and then we had our flight on the Monday.
Early hours Monday morning.
Very early on the Monday morning. I think we left the house at like 3:30.
I think it was about 3:30.
3:30 in the morning. And we ended up getting to Vegas at 7 p.m. Local time.
Yeah.
So it was a long-ass day.
Here's a tip. Don't ever fly economy.
Oh my God, no. No. We were like, oh yeah, fuck it, we'll get upgraded. You know, it's our honeymoon.
That didn't happen.
No one gave a shit.
No, that did not happen.
It was the worst flight ever.
And we've taken a lot of flights.
Yeah.
Like
we were at the back where all the ovens and stuff were, where they cook the food. And it was just so hot. Like, it was roasting.
Yeah, it was cramped. It was hot.
Yeah. I managed to sleep a couple of hours. You didn't.
I did not. I think it was out of sheer spite that I didn't sleep. I was sat there like, I'm uncomfortable, therefore I am not sleeping. Finally watched Avengers Endgame, though. So
yeah, finally. When we got to Vegas, it was, very, very late. We were very, very tired, so we just went to sleep.
Yeah.
But we did get an upgrade on the room.
We did get an upgrade on the room, actually.
We had a hot tub in the middle of the room.
I can recommend hot tubs in the middle of the room.
It's phenomenal.
I leisured hardcore.
Yeah. And we woke up at like 4:30 the next morning and we were just like, fuck it, we may as well just go
for a walk.
Go and explore. So that was that. Shotguns.
Yeah, we shot guns because we're civilized in this part of the world, so we don't have guns.
Those are fighting words.
Yeah, well, come at me. It's not like they're going to shoot me, is it?
Assassin just rolls out in a black car.
No, that was good fun, actually. You're a surprisingly and worryingly good shot.
Yeah. Like, I hit the fucking target. Yeah. I hit it a lot.
So, cause I kind of already knew what I was doing from when I did archery.
Yeah.
But you were a surprisingly good shot.
Yeah, barely handled a paintball gun before. And then I was shitting myself. Fucking shitting myself. I was like, I'm not going to do this. I was like, it's going to fucking dislocate my shoulder or some shit. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
Cirque
du Soleil.
That's the one.
That was amazing. So much fun. We picked up the car after that.
We got upgraded on the car though, so
we did.
On the weird off chance that woman from Alamo was listening. Thanks.
That was such a great car. The Dodge with no name.
The Dodge with no name. We had a Dodge Challenger, which had a bigger engine than both cars at this house put together.
Yeah, pretty much. And you got us stuck in the desert 2 hours after trying.
Whoa. Right. Don't go tarnishing my name like that. What actually happened was we were driving through the desert and you wanted to stop to take some pictures.
Yes.
So you said, pull over. Being the good husband I am. I pulled over.
But you were the driver. You should have been like, oh no, it's not safe. We're going to get stuck. And not done it.
And as I pulled over, I realised that I was pulling fully into soft sand. And my words were, I hope I don't get stuck in this.
We have it all on video, actually.
Do. Shamefully, we have everything on video. And there was a lovely Canadian couple that had to come and help us out.
Yeah, we were so stuck that we had to flag down a Canadian family or something. And, like, to be fair, it was a pretty quiet road.
Yeah, we were lucky that there was someone coming down that road.
Yeah. Because we decided, fuck it, yeah, we'll drive through the Mojave.
Yeah. Not a big deal.
No. And so they helped us, they pushed us out, and then we continued to drive through the desert.
Not in the sand.
No. We saw the Queen Mary.
We did. Amazing.
I kind of want to do another episode on the Queen Mary. Like, I know we did like a kind of a mini one. Like,
yeah.
I think it was like our second episode or something.
Like that.
It was probably really shit.
Back when we weren't very good.
We're still not very good now.
Well, no, we're not very good now, but when we were even less good.
Yeah. So I kind of want to do another full episode on that at some point because it was so interesting.
It was.
So interesting. What else did we do? We went to the Griffith
Observatory.
Yeah. And then we drove up to Santa Barbara, then Monterey, and then Yosemite.
Didn't get mauled by a bear.
Yosemite is phenomenal. It's the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Although I was very aware of, during my entire trip, I was very aware of rattlesnakes, bears, and mountain lions. And I'm pretty sure we heard a mountain lion.
We think we heard a mountain lion. Either that or it was some child getting mauled by a mountain lion.
Either way, not good.
We think there was a mountain lion involved anyway.
Yeah. And we were there on this really quiet hike.
Just like, well, this is how we die.
Yeah. So that was that. And then we ended in San Francisco. We went to see Alcatraz.
We did.
And just kind of hung around. We rode the cable cars.
Just bummed around a bit.
Yeah. It was amazing. Best trip ever.
Ate a lot of food. I ate a lot of food.
We both ate a lot of food, to be fair. Do you want to tell them about your breakfast?
My breakfast of champions? I regret nothing. So what it was like a fully loaded omelette. A big omelette as well.
Big omelette. Like on those oval plates.
Yeah, like cheese and peppers and mushrooms and all the good stuff in it.
Bacon.
Lots of bacon. Then I had extra bacon. Because, bacon. And then I had a hash brown, and what I thought would be hash browns were the little things
that you get in McDonald's.
Like something like that, but fancier. No. This thing was about the size of the omelette. It was like shredded potato that had just been fried.
Like how you make a hash brown.
But for someone who's been on a low carb diet for the past 3 months, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I remember the chef saying to me, "Oh, would you like some French toast?" Now, I like French toast a lot, and I was like, "No, it's okay, I'll just have this." And he's like, "Just half?" I was like, "Yeah, just half." Right. What I didn't realise was his just half was it like 2 slices of bread?
2 slices of bread, 1 piece of French toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a plate of French toast with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing, and I ate the lot, and I'm not even ashamed of it.
You were very ashamed at the time.
Yeah, but I'm less ashamed now. Fight me.
And we went to the Cheesecake Factory. Oh my god. Nice cheesecake.
Yes.
Best cheesecake I've ever had.
As a cheesecake aficionado, yes.
Yeah. I love cheesecake. What else do we eat? Uber Eats is the future.
Yeah, you liked Uber Eats, didn't you?
Oh my god, yeah. Because when we were in Santa Monica, there was no fucking way we were getting out. Like, the traffic was so bad. Like,
yeah.
To get down the road, to go to a semi-decent restaurant would have taken like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, I was so tired. And then we found Uber Eats. It was the best.
Yeah, no forks, though. They always say they're going to bring you forks, and they never do.
Yeah.
So I had to eat my Greek kebab with my hands like a savage.
Yeah, we almost had to eat sketty and meatballs and pasta with our hands.
Like savages.
Yeah. But we didn't. No,
because we're more refined than that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So yeah, that was basically our honeymoon.
So we went over the Golden Gate Bridge about 3-4 times.
4 times.
4 times.
There and back.
Yeah.
$8 fucking to get over that bridge.
Yeah, no one told us that.
Not to get over the bridge, but to come back on the bridge, you have to pay $8.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was bit of a kicker. And we saw our last day there, we saw the most amazing thing ever. Very old man in a bright purple pimpin' suit.
Oh, yeah. On a mobility scooter, listening to gangster rap.
Listening to gangster rap, just blaring it, going through Union Square. It was the most amazing thing ever.
He was living his best life.
He was. I was so jealous. Like, he looked like he was having so much fun.
There was no stopping him.
No, he must have been about like 70 years old or something like that.
At least. And he was just like bobbing his head as he was going down with a recreational cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah.
Bobbing away.
It was amazing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all we've been doing for the past like 3 weeks.
And it was a good 3 weeks.
It was the best time ever.
No, it was the best time ever. We had such a good time.
Yeah, I really want to go back. Not crazy about like Monterey.
No.
That kind of area. I don't know, I just felt very poor.
Yeah.
Everyone there was driving in such nice cars, and then we're just there like made our Dodge feel cheap.
Yeah, our $40,000 sports car felt cheap.
Yeah, like all the way from like up from Malibu to like Monterey was just like rich people territory, and we just did not feel like we belonged.
No, we were not allowed there.
No.
As you put it, you just know when someone walks past you and you know they're rich.
Yeah, like, you know what, like, if someone walks past you on the street and they're dressed really nicely, and you just get like this fucking smell of richness off of them, and it was like, that was all around you, like, it wasn't just someone walking past you, it was everywhere.
So, we felt very poor.
Yeah, you just like feel inferior.
Yeah, so we didn't hang around there.
No, not really.
No,
we went into the Pacific Ocean for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to say we did it, and that's about it. So yeah, that's enough about our honeymoon now.
Yeah, shall we do an episode?
We'll do I Know That Actually Happened. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I will. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's a doozy. It's the end of the world again.
Again? Oh, what's hitting us this time?
A Bible scholar, no less. A Bible scholar's shock claim apocalyptic asteroid strike prophesized.
That headline doesn't even make sense.
So it's the end of the world again?
Yeah.
Yep. You excited?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just get me off this planet.
A Bible scholar has shockingly claimed to the express.co.uk, the paradigm of journalism, that an asteroid heading towards Earth has a far greater chance of striking than originally predicted, and when it does, it will be fulfilling the prophecy for the end of the world.
So just another asteroid?
Yeah. Apophis 99942. It's only a 370 metre wide one, so it's barely even worth talking about. Near-Earth orbit space rock. That's the way it's described. A near-Earth orbit space rock.
Is this real?
Yeah, well, you know. Initial observations from the Space Agency in 2004 revealed a probability of 2.7% that it could strike Earth in 2029.
2029?
Yeah.
Well, I could be dead by then.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. But then, like, NASA later admitted that it's a 150,001 chance that it'll strike.
Yeah.
So, I don't really think there's much to worry about.
No?
No. But let's see if I can find some of the Bible crazy. However, biblical scholar Tom Horn sensationally claimed to express.co.uk that a apophis could strike in less than 10 years from now, marking the end of the world eerily on Friday the 13th. I'm sure it will do.
Oh yeah,
I am sure it will do. The claims comes ahead of the release of The Wormwood Prophecy, a documentary where Mr. Horn promises to lay bare the apparent evidence that he has uncovered. Mr. Horn believes that the Bible warned of such events. He added, I intend to disclose facts that are stranger and scarier than most people can comprehend and is going to shake the public to the bone. This involves a cover-up of the highest order by national space agencies including NASA. Chief technology experts and working scientists agree with me, but what is more concerning is that this is prophesied in the Bible for the end times. The Book of Revelations is the final book of the Christian Bible, which tells the story of a man called John on the island of Patmos in the Aegean Sea, addressing a letter to the 7 churches of Asia. He then describes a series of prophetic visions, including figures such as the 7-headed dragon, the serpent, and the beast, culminating in the second coming of Jesus and therefore the end of the world. And when he opened the 7th seal, blah 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 blah.
It's all very Jim Jonesy, that, isn't it?
It's very very Jim Jonesy. To be honest, I'm gonna go ahead and call that's a no from me.
Yeah.
So
that's what I think too.
And in the grand scale of things, a 370 metre asteroid will kill a lot of people, but not that many. In, that grand scale. It's not really...
That's okay?
It's not really an apocalypse. It's too small.
Yeah.
So,
It won't wipe out the dinosaurs, like.
No, it's not a dinosaur. It's not a dinosaur asteroid.
No.
No.
We're due for one of them. I think we are.
I mean, what is it in our calendar or something? Next week, get hit by dinosaur asteroid.
I wish. Please just take me.
You're a married woman now. You can't say things like that.
Yes, I can. Okay. Mine comes from earthfiles.com, which I found through Coast to Coast. And it's from November 13th. And it says, huge mass of metal found at Moon's South Pole. Asteroid or alien base?
Dun dun dun.
Pretty much. So the United States Army and Air Force managed to find at least 122 photos taken by astronauts on the moon that showed some evidence of an alien presence.
Did they really?
Apparently. I'll see if I can find the photo and I'll show you. That's what they found.
What?
Yeah. So if you want to see the photo, obviously we can't show you, but the link will be in the show notes. Basically, Professor James says the oval-shaped crater shown as dark blue in the false colour graphic, which is what I just showed Craig, in false colour graphic, above lunar South Pole's topography, is 1,243 miles in diameter, which is about 2,000 kilometres. And that is the distance between Waco, Texas and Washington, D.C. The metallic mass is buried under several hundred miles deep under the crater. Even though the South Pole Aitken Basin is so large, it still cannot be seen from Earth because it is on the bottom far side of the moon. The discovery was made by measuring subtle changes in the strength of gravity around the moon. The scientists analysed data from the spacecraft operating in NASA's Gravity Recovery and Interior Laboratory mission. When we combined the GRAIL, which is that Gravity Recovery and Interior Laboratory, data with lunar topography data from the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, we found the unexpectedly, I can't say that word, large amounts of mass hundreds of miles underneath the South Pole Basin. One of the explanations is that extra mass is metal from an asteroid that formed this crater and is still embedded in the moon's mantle. Whatever it is, wherever it came from, it is weighing the South Pole Basin floor downward by more than half a mile.
It's a pretty heavy rock.
Very heavy. So obviously people will be like, yeah, it's an alien base.
No, it's a rock.
But like, you know, surely if aliens were on the moon, we'd have seen something by now.
I mean...
Unless, oh my god, what if they're living in the moon?
What do you reckon, the moon's an entire alien spaceship? That's it. NASA lies, confirmed.
Yeah, like, or they could be like dwarves and they're just living like...
Digging a hole.
Digging a hole.
Diggy diggy hole.
Diggy diggy hole.
Yes!
They're dwarves like living in the moon.
I am a dwarf and I
Copyright.
dig it. Oh.
But yeah, like, what if that's it? Like, what if that's why we can't see them is because they're living inside?
Or it's a giant space rock that buried itself in the moon.
That's also possible, but I'm going to go with dwarf aliens.
With moon dwarfs.
Yeah.
How does a moon dwarf look, Laura? Describe a moon dwarf to me.
No one's ever seen one.
That's a cop-out, and you know it is.
No.
That's a cop-out.
No.
That's a straight-up cop-out.
No one's ever seen one.
Do they have beards still? Do they have, like, special space helmets that go around their beards?
Yeah, but it looks like it's glittery because they use stars. Their beards are stars.
I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. Fucking glittery moon star beards.
Dwarves. Aliens. Yeah.
No, it's a big fucking rock.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's a rock.
Alien confirmed.
Not clickbait. Okay. Maybe the asteroid that we had was, you know, the dwarfs coming to Earth. Maybe.
Possibly.
And the big glittery space beards.
Yeah, that's it.
That's definitely it, is it?
Yeah. Should we just move on to the episode?
I think we probably should.
Okay. So a lot of you probably know clearly you know what this episode's about because you clicked on it. But like when we were in Yosemite, and driving to San Francisco, we decided to stop off at the Winchester Mystery House. It's a place we kind of wanted to go for a while.
Yeah.
Because we've been kind of looking into it and it seemed really creepy. So we went there and we decided to do an episode on it.
Yep. And here that episode is.
Way! Woo! But this is going to be really interesting because we have two polar opposite views.
Yes, we do.
Two polar opposite views. Like, you don't believe a thing about it.
Not that... No, don't get me wrong. Like, I believe there may be some sort of, like, something there, but half the stuff that the myth is, I'm not so sold on.
See, I'm more inclined to believe the majority rather than the minority, to be honest with you. And you're the opposite way around.
But we'll you can make your own mind up when we've presented our findings.
Yeah, and we'll kind of tell you what we experienced there.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
It all starts in 1886 when a woman named Sarah Winchester travelled from New Haven, Connecticut to San Jose in
Jesus Christ. Use your words.
In San Jose, in California, at least I didn't call it San Jose.
Oh, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did when we were there.
Oh, when I was there. Yeah, it's different. In California, to start a new life. She purchased a small 8-bedroom farmhouse and started a renovation project that would take 36 years and cost around $5 million. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was in our money now or their money then.
A lot of fucking money.
But either way, it's a lot of dollars either way. And the construction project only stopped when she passed away in 1922.
So the story goes.
But who is Sarah Winchester? Because I had no idea who she was at all until we started looking into it, really.
Yeah.
She was born Sarah Pardee in the summer, we think, of 1839. We think. We're not really sure because her birthday, her birthday kind of ranges from 1839 to 1842.
45, I think. It's even longer.
And there's no, that's it. That's what you've got.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, born in New Haven, Connecticut. It's just, and there's record keeping wasn't the best in New Haven, Connecticut, I don't think.
No.
Not for things like that, anyway.
No.
She was wealthy already. Even before she got married, they were a pretty well-off family. Her father was a coach builder, and he...
Like the horse and carts?
Yes.
Cool.
And he made a lot of money in the Civil War by building ambulances, so...
That's very nice of him.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Respect. So already a member of high society, and she was educated at the Young Ladies Collegiate fucking toothpaste. Collegiate Institute at Yale College. Basically, she went to Yale, but they couldn't say she went to Yale because women weren't allowed in Yale. So she went to Yale, the women's Yale, basically.
Yeah.
But she was well educated either way. She was supposedly able to speak 4 languages. Languages, which is more than I can speak.
You could barely speak one.
Yep. Latin, French, Spanish, and Italian, and it's reported she could play 3 musical instruments.
Which ones?
I have no idea.
Shitty research.
Get fucked. So, yeah, she was a very, very smart woman.
Yeah.
They called her the Belle of New Haven because of how intelligent and supposedly beautiful and gifted with music she was, a sort of a pillar of high society.
Yeah, and I don't fucking know where I was going here. Nah, fuck it. Cut.
The Windows crash symbol just appeared in her eyes for a second.
Yeah. Error 404.
Yeah, you 404'd.
Not found.
Yeah. If we want to take a tiny little trip into tinfoil hat territory, because we know we like that. We like a little bit of tinfoil hatting. Members of her family were supposedly had an interest in the occult and been members of Yale's shady Skull and Bones Society, which includes a lot of high-powered people, including 2 past US presidents. # just saying. So yeah, it's a shady organisation for shady people. Mm-hmm. And she's supposedly been leaning towards the old Freemasons as well.
Yeah, there was a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So, she could be a member of, a secret society, maybe not. But,
yeah, we're not really sure.
But, I just find it weird that she's said to be in with the Skull and Bones, and look at her family and look at where she went to college and her wealth.
Yeah, that's all prime secret society territory.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, part of me believes that to some extent.
Yeah, I don't think women were allowed in the Freemasons at the time, and I don't think women were allowed in the Skull and Bone Society at the time.
Yeah.
But certainly, I think members of, maybe not her immediate family, but close enough people to her to have had an influence on her.
Yeah.
Were probably members. Mm-hmm. And then, I say, that everybody in power's been in the Skull and Bone Society at some point.
Yeah.
Those 2 US presidents, I think it was, Bush was definitely one of them, and I think Clinton might have been the other.
I think Clinton was.
So I could be wrong there, but I'm nearly sure it was Bush. Bush was in it anyway. When she was at, air quotes, marrying age,
What's that back then,
12. No, it wasn't 12, I'm just making that up. But, marrying age anyway, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Her family already had a suitor picked out for her, and that young gentleman was the son of Oliver Winchester, who was the owner. I don't think he was the founder, because the history of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company is very long and complicated.
Yeah.
But he was certainly the owner at the time. Mm-hmm. Whit Winchester. No, that's wrong. William Wirt Winchester. I don't know what I'm fucking doing.
No.
So they were married in 1868.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a Winchester Repeating Arms Company. It's where a lot of their wealth came from.
Selling and making guns.
Yeah, basically. I'll go into that more in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go into that now, actually.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So yeah,
Jesus.
I'm a little out of practice. The Winchester Repeating Arms Company was an arms manufacturing company. It had been around for a long time. It has been in several different versions of itself, and what made them famous was they didn't create it, they perfected the design of the lever action rifle, which is the first rifle that's able to keep firing repeatedly until it empties its magazine. They had a great success with that design. They equipped a couple of platoons with it in the Civil War, and they decimated because they were firing against people with front-loading muskets.
Yeah.
So whereas one person could go load, pop down, bang, oh fuck, it missed. These people could just go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Like, it must have been a slaughter. What really, really made them famous, though, it was two weapons. It was the Model 1866 and the Model 1879. 73. I can't read. That was nicknamed the gun that won the West because of all the violence against the American Indian population out in the Wild West at the time. Mm-hmm. A lot of the American settlers would have been carrying these weapons because they were so popular, they were so reliable, and they could empty their magazine in a couple of seconds with a skilled shooter.
Nice.
So, yeah, these two guns killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Over the years. I think, what was it, they sold like 7 million we saw somewhere?
Something like that.
7 million guns.
It was a big number anyways.
Yeah. Like, as an engineer, it's a great design. Like, just strictly from an engineering point of view, it's a fantastically simple design that works very well.
Very innovative.
Very innovative, unfortunately kills people.
Yeah.
So, there's that. So, moving away from guns again for a second, by all accounts, it was a happy marriage, which in these arranged marriages can be quite unusual sometimes.
They seemed very happy
They did
together.
seem very happy. They had a daughter in 1866 called Annie Pardee Winchester. Sadly, she was born with a rare condition called marasmus, which I have looked into, and it's to do with the metabolic rate of the patient. They can't seem to absorb protein very well.
Malnourishment,
yeah, basically. But it's not... I don't want to say it's her malnourishing her, because it wasn't. It was a condition that made... Sarah Winchester could have given her as much food as she wanted. Her body couldn't metabolize the protein. Yeah. So let's just dispel that one straight away.
Mm-hmm. But it's what it is. Like, you die of malnourishment.
You die of malnourishment, but it's not because someone's not been feeding you.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, she passed away sort of 40 days later. Obviously, Sarah was absolutely heartbroken, and they never had children after that. No. Which is sad.
Very,
very, very sad.
Probably their own decision.
Yeah, I think so. Later on, in a double bill of tragedy, because, you know, that always still happens, Oliver Winchester died in 1880. With his death, the company passed to William Winchester, who then died about 4 months later of TB. Oh. So, in that sort of stroke, she's lost 2 more family members. However...
one being her fucking husband.
Yeah. When William died, he left everything to Sarah. And by everything, that's a 20 million inheritance... No, 20 million back in the 1800s inheritance, which is equivalent to 519 million... 2,400... I don't... That's a long number.
$519,241,379.
Yes.
In 2018.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of money, anyway. She was rolling in it. That's just the inheritance. She had a 50% controlling stake in the company, which paid a salary of $1,000 back then a day. Or $25,000 a day.
By today's standards.
By today's standards, a day. Could you imagine having, like, that's some people's yearly wage a day? Yeah. Fuck. She was loaded. Hey, 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 hey.
Oh, no. The puns have started arriving.
I was quite proud of that, actually.
Of course you fucking were, because it was really bad.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So details after this become kind of sketchy. But it's noted in the New Haven Register that she removed to Europe between 1881 and 1884, but no one is really sure where to. But she was fluent in a lot of, well, the main European
Yeah.
languages. So
It's a good idea where she went.
yeah. To take a leap, there's an idea that Europe is where she got some inspiration for the more bizarre features of the Winchester house that she would later build.
Yeah, I think there's a cathedral in Scotland that's cited somewhere that has a staircase to nowhere.
Yeah?
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but I think there's either a church or it's a castle or a church or something like that in Scotland that has a staircase to nowhere.
Yeah. And naturally, the Freemasons of Europe were said to have had a hand in this. But Craig has put, sadly, we can't confirm or deny that.
Well, we can't we?
No, we can't.
No.
In 1884, she returned to New Haven, and this is where the legend of the Mystery House started.
Yes.
At the time of her return, spiritualism was,
The in thing.
yeah, the in thing, the thing to do, everything like that. And she sought out a medium in Boston, and his name was Adam Coons, supposedly.
Supposedly.
He was apparently in touch with William and related the message that she and the massive Winchester fortune had been cursed by the spirits of those killed by the Winchester rifles, and to appease the spirits she had to use her massive wealth to build them a grand home.
So that's where the myth of the Winchester Mystery House starts.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah, like, it's not much documentation.
No,
like, around
it's
this time.
only kind of hearsay, isn't it?
Yeah. So she decided to take this on board and bought an unfinished 8-bedroom farmhouse in San Jose and employed a team of carpenters, and they started working. They worked to no blueprints, just Sarah's designs. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Supposedly.
But there's been kind of documentation where she's kind of sent workers home for the summer because it was too hot.
Yeah, and she said that they needed a break as much as she did and things like that.
So I agree with you. I don't think 24 hours a day, 7 days a week was correct.
No, but that's part of the myth that's propagated, isn't it?
Yeah. All sources say she treated them very well and paid them almost double the standard going rate at the time. They also had the option to live in or on the house grounds if they wished, so they were treated very well.
That is very good, though. She did seem to really care about her workers, and when we were looking around the house itself, you could kind of see some of the things that were put in for the workers.
To make workers' lives a lot easier, like there was even the sinks.
Yeah, they had specially designed wash sinks to cut down the time that laundry took from like 3 days to a day and a half.
Yeah.
So
like it was amazing. Like there was what's that board called? You know, the board where you wash the clothes.
A washboard.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
There was one of those built into the sink.
Yeah.
There was special soap holders and stuff like that. Just stuff that wasn't really common for the time.
No.
She had installed to make their lives a bit easier.
Yeah, and there was a lot of things like that in the house. And the house was designed in that way to make life easier for everybody, I think. And there is an argument that the house building itself was just to keep people employed. Like, that's one thing I've read somewhere.
Yeah.
That the massive house, because at the time I think there was a bit of an economic depression.
Yeah.
So to keep her workers going, she just kept fucking adding more rooms.
Yeah.
So there's that argument as well.
Yeah. So the house spawned rapidly. Construction happened constantly, creating a massive labyrinth of corridors, stairways, rooms. And in the end, there was 160 or 161, depending on where you read, with 47 fireplaces, 40 stairways, 6 kitchens, 3 elevators, and one of the world's first showers with running hot water and forced air heating systems.
It's very ahead of its time. I think that's what's there now. I think before the earthquake, they reckoned it was maybe more sort of 200-300 rooms.
Yeah,
like
massive. 7
stories in 200-300 rooms. So for its time, it was like the dog's testicles.
The dog's bollocks, let's just fucking say
Alright, it was the dog's bollocks. I was trying to keep it classy, but obviously we're not doing that. So, yeah, it was at the cutting edge of technology in, like, homes at the time. One of its 3 elevators was electric. I mean, even having an elevator at all in your house is pretty special.
I'd fucking... Not that we need one here, because it's fucking a bungalow, but, like...
If we had stairs.
Imagine having stairs and just being like, I will take my elevator.
One of my 3 elevators, no less.
Yeah, like... That's a sign of wealth.
It is.
I feel like I'm back in Calabasas.
Yeah. It had a basic electrical system in its house. I mean, granted, and think back then, electricity was like the cutting edge of science.
Yeah.
People was like, it was basically black magic. So to have a basic electric system, including push button lights.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're not the sort of lights we think of today. They were a carbide igniter, the gas lights, lights. But still, you push the button, electricity made the lights come on.
Yeah.
It was next level stuff. And it had an electronic sort of calling system for the servants. So not only did it tell Sarah... not only did Sarah tell the servants she wanted them, but through like a code system she could tell them where she was in the house. It was all electrified. And she also had... calling pipes, what they're called?
Yeah.
So, yeah, she had these calling pipes that was... You could speak into one end, the sound would carry through the pipe, and you'd hear it on the other end.
Yeah.
So, very, very advanced stuff for the time.
Yeah. So, Sarah spared no expense, really, when it came to decorating and building the house. The house is made predominantly of redwood, which is... There's an abundance of it.
It's fucking everywhere.
Around where she built the house. But... She used that more for the convenience, but she really didn't like the colour. So in a lot of places, the wood is still redwood, but it's painted by hand to be a different colour.
Imagine being so rich that you can just take a wood, build your entire house out of it, and then say to yourself, don't really like the colour, so then just get people to repaint it.
Yeah.
I read somewhere it was like 20,000 gallons of paint.
Something like that.
That it took to repaint this shit.
Yeah, and the grains were hand painted with a feather. Because, that's a sign of wealth.
Yeah.
So when it came to decorating the house, she was very specific. Fuck me. She ordered several stained glass windows from the Pacific American Decorative Company. Some were designed specifically for her, and some were designed by her. Today, a lot of these stained glass windows are stored in a special $25,000 storage room. That's what they call it.
Yeah, but that's a lie, because it's a lot more than $25,000.
Yeah, you're looking at about $400,000 to $500,000 now.
Wouldn't that be a smashing time?
This is why we can't take you places.
Some of the more famous stained glass windows from the house are the stained glass windows in one of the ballrooms, and they have Shakespearean quotes laid into them. And a lot of people attribute this to her spookiness.
Yeah.
Well, could be. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. They might just be her favourite quotes. But she's been a Shakespeare lover from an early age. So
I think about 12.
From about 12. Imagine being a Shakespeare lover from the age of 12.
Well, like, I don't know, back then, Shakespeare might have been, like, the modern day...
Don't you dare compare Shakespeare to Twilight.
J.K. Rowling.
That's barely passable.
I don't give a fuck.
Like, that's right on the borderline.
Stephanie Meyer.
Get out.
I said it.
Get out.
I said it.
Get out.
I don't give a fuck.
Fight me. Anyway, so that's probably why she had the Shakespearean quotations, because she was rich, she could understand them, and she wanted to flex. Basically. Weird flex. You know what? It's fine. It's reported that her favourite number was 13. Or maybe more accurate, that it's reported she had an obsession with the number 13.
Yeah, like, when we went on the tour, they said it was her lucky number. Maybe she really liked that number. Who fucking knows?
No. But what we do know is that 13 is mentioned in a lot of the house.
Yeah.
I mean, not explicitly. She doesn't go around painting 13 on things.
But the pattern 13.
Yeah, it comes out a lot. One of the stained glass windows has 13 jewels inlaid in it. There's 13 windows in certain rooms. There was a special chandelier that was ordered from Germany that only came with 12 lights, so she had a 13th one installed. Like, just things like that.
Yeah, and you have this conspiracy about the 13 hooks.
The 13 hooks is mentioned all the time, but I have read in a couple of places that some of the tour guides have admitted that about 5-6 years ago, hooks were added, so it made up 13 hooks.
Possible.
Just saying.
Possible.
So sadly, on the 18th of April 1906 at 5:12 a.m, the Winchester House was rocked by the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which measured 7.9 on the Richter scale. Richter scale, in one of the largest earthquakes ever recorded. This earthquake lasted for about 60 seconds, and about 3,000 people died, and 80% of San Francisco was destroyed.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, the city of San Francisco now, because we learnt this from our tour bus...
we went on one of those open-top tour buses.
And I'm not even ashamed of it, because it was awesome.
It was amazing. Best experience ever.
Like, they built a lot of what's now San Francisco on the docks of the old San Francisco.
Yeah, so a lot of San Francisco, what is it, from like the town hall onwards or something like that?
It's that big fucking bank building, isn't it?
Yeah.
I forget what it is now. The one that looks like a giant needle.
Yeah, it's from that onwards. It's like built on what used to be water.
Yeah. I think doesn't that one have a boat in its foundations.
Something like that.
One of the big buildings does. Anyway, like, a lot of San Francisco is built on reclaimed land. It's basically rubble from the earthquake that was just bulldozed into the sea and they're built on top of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go. Fun fact for you.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Exactly. In the Winchester house on the morning of the 18th of April, Sarah was asleep in her bedroom on one of the higher floors, and the earthquake sent the tower and 3 of the floors above her just fucking smashing around everywhere.
Yeah.
Which must have been terrifying, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I've only ever experienced one earthquake. It was probably like a 4 on the Richter scale.
Think about this poor fucking little lady with arthritis, and then, you know.
Everything gets in one shaky boy.
Yeah.
The workers spent the next 3 or 4 hours looking for her, and once they found her, trying to free her. Like, the door of the room that she stayed in, you can still see the marks on the door from where they had to lever it open with a bar because everything had shifted so much the door was stuck.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. She vowed never to restore or rebuild the tower or the upper floors, with good reason, I think. Mm-hmm. Apparently the way it is today is the way it looked after the 18th of April, so... Before the earthquake, it was 17 stories tall.
17? Fuck me.
It's grown 10.
Jesus.
7 stories tall with, like, an impressive-looking tower.
Yeah.
And afterwards, it's 4 stories tall. Still looks impressive, but she wasn't willing to build any higher.
Yeah.
Probably with good reason. Mm-hmm. I think an earthquake could shake someone up like that.
Hey, here comes the fucking puns again.
Oh, wow, I didn't even... Oh, man, I'm good. So the house itself, it's known for its ridiculous layout, and I can confirm it is ridiculous.
No rhyme or fucking reason to it, like.
No one really has any idea why it's built like this. Like I say, there's no blueprints, there's no plans. She didn't have to pass it through planning or anything like that. She just came up with an idea one day, spoke to the foreman, and the foreman, because he was getting paid twice what he was normally getting paid, was like, okay, if you want that there, you can have that there.
Yeah,
not a problem.
Pretty much.
Popular idea is that the confusing layout, which includes doors that go to nowhere, literally nowhere, you open the door and you're falling 3 stories.
Yeah.
Or staircases that just end.
Yeah.
Like, it was to confuse angry spirits that tormented her because, don't forget, she supposedly built this house to appease the spirits of all the people killed by the Winchester rifle. Yeah. So, in her mind... So goes the story. The spirits would get confused and get lost trying to find her. Which, another thing I've read, actually, is that out of all her bathrooms, only one worked. And this is to go with that thing, so they couldn't start haunting taps and shit, because only one of the bathrooms worked.
Sneaky bastards!
Yeah.
So they couldn't start haunting taps and shit.
Yeah. Quote. I fucking hated these things. So Sarah, towards the end of her life, sadly suffered with quite chronic arthritis, and it was bad. So easy riser staircases were installed that she could easily get from one floor to another, but this just makes, they call them switchback staircases, don't they? It just makes the layout even worse. Yeah. And they are fucking awful. Yeah. Like, I went up them and I was so confused. I thought the house was leaning. It was ridiculous. There's some rooms where you can climb over easily 40 of these and you'd still be on the same floor. Yeah. Because of how shallow the gradient had to be for her arthritis. Yeah. Like, they think she could only lift her feet maybe 2 or 3 inches up off the floor. Yeah. So,
which is why they did the easy risers.
Yeah. And they were fucking stupid.
Yeah, they were.
One of the big things about the Winchester Mystery House lore and myth and everything is the seance room. Yeah. And the idea is that when there's a bell still in the middle of the mansion now, when the bell was tolled at midnight, that would be when Mrs. Winchester would be in her seance room, ready to communicate with these spirits.
Conversing with the spirits.
Conversing with the dead. And what the story was is that she received building instructions from these spirits. Mm-hmm. And then she'd go to her foreman the next day and build whatever they commanded. The seance room, it was a small room, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say about 10 by 10 feet.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a big room particularly. Yeah. It had 1 entrance and 3 exits, though. Yeah. But, I mean, I think that's just indicative of how crazy the layout of this house was. Yeah. So, 1 exit was the door you came in on. Yeah. There was another exit next to that one, and then there was a so-called hidden exit. Yeah. Which was just, it was like a panel in the wall. Yeah. And that kind of locked behind you.
You couldn't open it.
You couldn't open it. So
again, if you had gone through.
Yeah. It was a bit strange. Was it a seance room or not?
What do you think it was?
Well, no, it's not what I think, it's what I've read.
What have you read?
I've read that it wasn't a seance room at all. Seances were a very sort of social thing. So to conduct them in a secretive room all by yourself wasn't really the done thing. But then, what do I know? I'm not a mystic.
No.
And some people say that this seance room was actually something to do with gardening.
I don't believe that. There's not really enough light that goes into that room to be classed as anything to do with gardening or the plants.
The plants of any kind. So
no.
That's just one thing I've read, though. It's hard to prove one way or the other, though, because there are, like we said, no dedicated plans.
No,
of
there's
anything.
no blueprints or nothing.
So it could be a fucking closet for all we know.
Yeah.
Really, it's hard to tell. With such a crazy and extravagant life, you'd have thought that Sarah's death would be crazy and extravagant.
Yeah.
It wasn't. On September the 5th, 1922, Sarah Winchester passed away in her sleep from heart failure. Her will was apparently written in 13 sections, and she left everything to her niece, barring the house.
So her niece basically took everything she wanted from the house and then auctioned off the rest. Apparently, some sources say this, it took 8 truckloads a day for 6 weeks to move everything out of the house.
That must have been a lot of shit in that house.
It's a lot of work. The house itself wasn't listed anywhere in the will, and it was passed to the state of California, who, thanks to a unique design, wanted nothing to do with it. They thought, all these fucking rooms, way too much hassle for us.
Yeah.
That's it.
It wasn't up to any kind of building code whatsoever.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was eventually bought by an investor.
An investor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think it was?
No. The investor was just an investor.
Mm-hmm. It was bought by an investor for 135... No. Use fucking punctuation. What is that?
$135,000. There's 3 zeros, look.
Oh, yeah. For $135,000, who then leased it to the ancestors of its current owners. And they are named as John and Mame Brown.
The current owners are the Winchester Investment LLC.
Keep the name going, I suppose.
Yeah.
It was reported that John had something to do with either roller coasters or carnivals.
It was in the entertainment industry one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. And the first public tours of the house started in February 1923, which is not about 5 months after Sarah died. A rummer...
Is that my...
That's your awful spelling.
Well, look, right, it's there to... You're not supposed to... Yeah, it's fine.
A rumour is that Harry Houdini visited not long after and gave it the name the Mystery House. It said that Harry Houdini liked to go to these places and kind of, poke fun and debunk these kind of places. But he never did that to this house. So, where does the hauntings come in, is what we want to know.
Yeah.
So, when we went there with a lot of preconceived notions that, like, oh my God, it's the most haunted place in America, basically, is kind of the stuff we'd heard before this.
Yeah.
Like, all this research was done after we visited the house. When we were there with maybe about 12 other people.
It was a small group of people.
A very small group of people. And our guide was very...
Please don't get us sued.
I'm not... No. I'm... our guide was knowledgeable, but, very knowledgeable, but, as soon as you asked a question that kind of deviated from his script, basically, he wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
Just kind of brushed you aside, really.
Yeah.
And as we were going through, I was snapping photos, trying to get some ghouls on the camera.
Yeah, trying to capture some spectres.
But I caught nothing. I felt nothing.
No.
I felt more on the Queen Mary and even Alcatraz than I did at the Winchester Mystery House. Now, that's not to say, it's not haunted. I'm not discounting all the experiences that anyone else might have had there. But we felt nothing.
No, we just seemed like an old interesting house to us.
Yeah.
And the sort of myth was very heavily put upon you.
It's almost like they tried to sell you that this house is so haunted and stuff. And their fucking souvenirs and shit were so pricey.
Yeah.
So expensive. Still bought a shirt though. But I did have a very weird dream that night though.
You did. That was strange.
Because we drove from there to San Francisco and we stayed the night in San Francisco, and I woke up and I was sweating. And I just had a really fucking horrible dream that I was being chased through the Winchester house.
Yeah, that was strange.
And this is from someone who hasn't remembered their dreams for maybe a year or two now.
Yeah. So
I don't know, just to have that dream after being in the house, and to remember it, it's very strange. That was it. That's That's all we found.
Yeah, and this is my thing, like, knowing that the people who bought it were in the entertainment business, and, like, if you start looking at, for me, when I was doing the research for this, and I was looking at when these sort of rumours started coming around, it was quite late into Miss Winchester's life already.
Yeah.
And she wasn't a recluse as such, but she kept herself to herself. She didn't really go out and do things and stuff like that. You've got this incredibly wealthy woman in this ridiculous house.
Yeah.
People are going to start talking.
Yeah,
you
pretty
know?
much.
And that's where a lot of these rumours came from.
Like, the thing is, back then, documentation was not great.
No.
So a lot of this stuff is hearsay.
Yeah.
And, like, don't get me wrong, like, I do believe a house that old can't not be haunted, in my opinion.
In some degree.
But haunted to the degree that everyone kind of makes it out to be, like, I don't really believe.
No.
Especially because I felt nothing.
Yeah. You'd have thought with all the dead souls of those people killed by those guns, supposedly.
Yeah.
They're, like...
Yeah.
You'd have felt something.
Like, at the Queen Mary, I pretty much saw a ghost.
A ghost.
And something grabbed my butt in Alcatraz. Not even kidding.
Not clickbait.
So, like, to go from that to going to one of the most haunted places and feeling nothing.
Yeah, it was very strange. And, yeah, just reading some of the stuff about it, like, I think that she's portrayed differently to what she actually was.
I think so as well.
Like, she wasn't tormented by the ghosts of the fortune she's amassed. She was probably tormented by the grief of losing her family.
Because you got to remember, she lost her daughter, she lost her husband, she lost her father-in-law, she lost everyone.
Yeah, so if she was tormented by anything, it was probably by the loss of that.
Yeah, by, just being grief-stricken and just coming to terms with being a widow.
And when you're a widow with a shitload of money,
what are you going to do with it? You may as well have some fun and build a crazy house.
Yeah, and like I said, like, the house building could have been to keep people employed. We know that she tried to work as well. If she's trying to keep the lads busy, what better way to do it than have them build a crazy big house?
Yeah, pretty much. Now, we took to YouTube, which is our great source of paranormal information when it comes to how other people experience stuff in this house. So we found like 3 channels that were kind of reputable-ish. Not really, like...
No, not even in the slightest.
Oh my gosh, TV did one. Fucking hate his clickbait titles. He seems like a genuine guy, but his clickbait titles just really fucking piss me off.
Yeah.
It was like, overnight in the Winchester house. And it was basically like a nighttime guided tour. That's it.
Yeah. Is that like the man who got banned from Cat Island, who didn't actually get banned from Cat Island? He just left.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
no tea, no shade.
They didn't find anything other than like personal feelings, which obviously doesn't translate on camera. No. So like, how the fuck do we know you're telling the truth? Like, at this stage of the game now, I'm expecting a lot more than just, I feel
funny.
Yeah.
Which is basically all it was.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he said he heard whistling. That didn't come off on camera. He heard, like, footsteps, but that didn't translate on camera. And
the thing is, as well, with a big old wooden house like that,
you're going to get settling noises.
You're going to get bangs, you're going to get whistles, you're going to get groans, you're going to get creaks.
Yeah.
Like...
So, he didn't find anything, in my opinion. Not
anything of note, anyway.
Same with Ghost Adventures. Also did an episode on this.
Zach Douchebaggins.
Yeah,
but no, he was a fool, right? Because the Ghost Adventures have done 2 episodes in that place.
The first one, to be fair though, like, their first one was like one of their first episodes. If you look back at our first episodes, we're probably fucking douchebags too.
Probably, but he was like next level douchebag.
He was, yeah. So they found a little bit, but like we've always said, we don't really trust him all that much.
No.
So they're pointing their camera down a hallway and there's a bit of a light and it looks like something passes over it. It does look like something passed in front of it. It does look like
something passed in front of the light, to be fair.
He got some EVPs, they're kind of intelligible.
Kind of.
And they had the SLS cameras. Now, I really don't know how they work. I think they, like, portray dots into a room, and if something, like, kind of moves the dot or interferes with the dot in some way, then they kind of connect the dots and make a person.
I think they work similar to the Xbox Kinect cameras.
They are the Xbox Kinect cameras.
Yeah, so they're like a motion tracking software, I think. And I think those dots, you can only see them if you've got like an infrared camera, because I think there's some kind of laser dots.
Yeah.
So if there's something there, the software is gonna try and make it into a person.
Yeah.
But that is its problem in itself, because if it gets something that's like maybe a large bug, perhaps, or
it's got to be a very large bug to make like head, arms, legs.
But no. What I'm thinking is that if it catches any motion, the software is going to automatically try and make it into a person.
Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Could be actually.
There,
yeah.
Which is why you always see them as little stickmen, because the software is trying to rationalise what it's seeing. The software doesn't know the difference between a large bug and a person. It just sees movement.
Yeah, and like but they did catch something on the SLS camera, and apparently when they went in, they felt a really cold spot.
Yeah.
And again, I don't take personal feelings unless I experience them myself.
Yeah.
You know. But Zach had one of those Winchester rifles.
Yeah.
He, for whatever reason, for the douchebag he is, he points it at the camera, and then apparently the SLS camera and the thermal imaging camera freeze.
But I mean, the SLS camera freezing, was it just going black?
Yeah.
So what's to say that someone's not just whipped a cable out the back of that?
But then for the thermal imaging,
the thermal one is different, yeah.
You know, like for them both to go at the same time. But then again, we don't really trust this guy.
No, we don't.
So,
and you should never point a weapon, even if it's not loaded, at something you don't intend to shoot.
He cocked it as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking yeah, exactly. That's like firearm, any kind of weapon safety 101. Don't point it at something unless you're gonna kill it.
Yeah. Like, we've shot guns now, we're like professionals.
Yeah. No, we're really not.
You have that bit.
Oh wow, I've got BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah.
Yep. They got fuck all.
Yeah, they got fuck all.
Literally fuck all.
Like, they're really entertaining to watch, though. Like, if you haven't watched them, like, I really recommend watching them.
Because they're hilarious.
They're so funny.
They did get footsteps, actually, and they got very, very clear footsteps on one of their static cameras. And
was it them? No, it wasn't them.
What?
No, it was Ghost Adventures. They got something thrown at the camera, didn't they?
No, they claimed they got something thrown at the camera.
Yeah, well,
but
you know.
Literally, the frame before, they'd seen a bat flying up the hallway.
No, it was them, wasn't it? Because then they were like, oh, it's a bat, because what's his name was like...
Yeah, it's a bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was them, though. No, because they'd been there twice. The first time they'd been there, they got a bat going up the hallway.
Yeah.
And then they think they may have had something thrown at the camera, but it could just as easily been the bat flying back at them.
Yeah.
So, you know. But these footsteps were clear as day. You could hear them nicely. And that would have been good evidence if there wasn't a caretaker in the building.
Yeah.
So you can't... If you've got a third person in the building, you can't disprove the fact that the caretaker didn't do it.
If you've got a third person that's not accounted for.
Yeah.
Who's not in your team.
Yeah. You can't say that those footsteps are unknown, because it easily could have been them.
Yeah.
So, there's that. That's my thoughts.
Pretty much.
Like...
That's it, really. Like, that's all we've got. But, do you think it's haunted?
You see, I'm with you in the sense that a big old house like that, probably, on the grand scheme of things, is a little bit haunted.
Yeah. Do you think it's the most haunted place in America?
Absolutely fucking not.
No.
No, I think that's been a very clever marketing scheme by the people who leased it back in 1923. And they've just perpetuated it and grown it and grown it and grown it.
Yeah, like, I don't disagree with you. I do believe it's haunted. I don't believe everyone's lying to us, you know?
No, that's just me.
Yeah, I'm not cynical about the whole thing.
Yeah, that's just me.
But I do believe some things are kind of blown way out of proportion, or, you know, just like that, you know?
Yeah, like, the trouble is you do your research and you look at these things, and they're always hard to source. They're always hard to trace back.
Especially when you're going back 150 years.
Yeah, and you get articles where people have reportedly done interviews with the first tour guides, and they said they were told to big things up and stuff like that. And then you ask the tour guides now about who they work for, they say they're not allowed to talk about it, and you know, it's hard to pin anything real down.
Yeah.
And just in my opinion, from what I've read and what I've seen and how I think the place is run and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic marketing system.
Fantastic acting.
Brilliant sort of money making scheme.
Yeah.
They look after the house well.
Yeah.
Which is nice. They do look after the house. It is in good condition. Mm-hmm. They've left the third floor mostly untouched as well, so you can see all the earthquake damage.
Yeah.
Like, that's nice, but they are selling a product, in my opinion anyway.
Like, you know, I think that, you know, yeah, they make people may have experiences there, but, you know, it's nothing amazing. You know, it's not mind-blowing evidence.
Yeah.
It's a kind of haunted house.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's more a house to see if you're interested in a...
The architecture.
In a crazy house.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it was interesting. I
It was
enjoyed
so
being
interesting.
there.
I really enjoyed being there. I'm glad we went. But I don't think it's as haunted as everyone says.
No, I don't either. Not by a long shot.
No.
So that's the tea.
That's it. We've done it. So this is a topic I've wanted to cover for a while. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we did, and I'm glad we got to go physically and see it. Yeah. So that's it.
Yep.
Probably should have said this at the start, but if you haven't noticed, we changed our logo.
Way.
So yeah, that's that. We're also on YouTube. We're going to start posting videos there in the next couple of weeks.
Yep. Once we learn how.
Yeah. If you want to subscribe, there'll be a link in the show notes. Since we changed our logo, if you want to go and buy some merch with our old logo, do so quick, because come Christmas it'll be gone and it'll be replaced with the new logo.
Yeah.
So if you want old logo merch, go now. Links in the show notes, that kind of stuff. And we'll be moving from Redbubble to Teespring. So
Boy.
yeah, you don't know anything about our merch, so pipe down. So yeah, no, we'll be moving from Redbubble to Teespring. So yeah, if you want some merch with the old logo, be quick, because it'll be gone soon.
Makes an excellent Christmas present. Just saying.
It does, yeah.
Just saying.
What else? That's it, really, innit?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe and
hit that button. No, that's YouTube,
That's
isn't
YouTube,
it?
isn't
Yeah,
it?
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
So, if you liked us, leave a review. You can leave a review on Facebook or iTunes or Stitcher. We do really appreciate them. Even some of the negative ones, like if they're constructive,
Yeah.
we'll, you know, but like if you don't like us, please message us first.
Yeah. Yeah, don't go leaving no shitty reviews.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, all at Spectral Asylum. Have you ever been to the Winchester House? What did you think? Do you think it's haunted? You know, tell us the tea.
Do you think it's late stage capitalism like me?
Yeah, so yeah, let us know. You can message us on, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that good shit.
Yeah, we have a Facebook group, which I don't think we plug enough.
No, that's probably why no one talks to us.
Yeah, it's the Spectral Asylum podcast discussion group. So if you search that on Facebook, you'll find it.
Yeah.
You just have to answer like the question, what are the names of us? What are our names? It's just to stop spammers getting in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. We will see you all in 2 weeks for another episode.
See y'all later.
Bye.
That's copyright. You can't do that.
See y'all later. Bye.
It's still copyright. We're going to get sued by Canadians. Stop it.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Oh no, I can't find the stop button.
Bye.
Oh shit, where's my mouse gone?
Bye.
Oh, I found it. No, I've lost it again.
ASMR.
This is not ASMR.
Bye.